Hi, Kevin Henry, the Managing Editor of Dental Economics, here today with Jim Higgins, founder and CEO of SmileReminder, and we're doing a series on the web, where it is, where it's going. And you know something is important in America whenever it becomes its own verb. So you can say, I Googled something. We Google everything. We search for everything whenever we go online, and it takes us all different directions. What are some things that you think dentists need to know about Google search engines and how to be found out on the web?
I think that it started with information that you as a dentist you would say, I really need to go get my keywords, and I need to get in natural search so I can be above the fold. Right? Come on, it's still important, right? Yeah. I need to get a local listing because I need to go claim my local listing because that's where I want to be. I want to be in the top 5 or 10 that are going to show up there. Because, again, that's above-the-fold information. Very important and things that probably need still to be done by most dentists out there. So that's fairly easy. Let's start with local listings, and this is just the basics. I mean, local listings are already out there. They talk about your business. Many people or practices don't know that they have it out there. It's already been created. Google creates every single one of those. And so you can go out and claim your listing, and then the most important thing is fill it out entirely. Fill out your hours of operation and things like that. And understand that local listings don't work like the natural listings. You can't, even though you'll have keywords, they don't pull up because you just hit cosmetic dentistry in Indianapolis or whatever, and it pulls up. So you're going to be there. It's a map, and we can talk more about that. But I think fundamentally, the thing that's very important out there is that in terms of search, information is going to find you. Right? So if I'm the consumer, information is finding me versus me going out and hunting for information. And it's done in the way that Google is transformed. So we talked about Web 2.0 earlier and Web 3.0. Web 2.0 is one where you have social media and friends are telling you about things. So a real-life example, you come out of your practice, a dental practice, and you're a patient, you had a great experience, you might tweet that, and all of a sudden, information finds you. And I'm a follower, and I get on my cell phone that, hey, Dr. Johnson's really great. I went in, and it was just an awesome experience. It's interesting. I've been on Twitter, and I've just put in there, have you found a good dentist? Where's a good dentist? And it's all geographic independence, so people, are asking their friends. And it's amazing to see how many people are on Twitter asking about, where do I go to a dentist? Who's a good dentist?
Interesting.
It is interesting. And we're doing some pretty neat things to be able to funnel those new patient requests, they're asking for it, into practices so they can respond in one place in a very simple manner. So that's what we're doing in our company, and I think it's a neat way to go. But information's finding you. You don't have to go out and search for information as a consumer or patient. So that being said, practices need to understand that it's a quantity and quality play. So what I mean by that is quantity in terms of being out there in multiple places. Video, we've talked about YouTube a little bit in prior segment. Video is critical to be out there, and how many videos you have out there are very important.
Okay.
If you can have a lot of videos out there, hey, that's great, the better. We talked about local listings to have out there. We talked about a website. We talked about social networking. These are just a few places that you can start with, and it's fairly easy to get these things going. But you're out there in terms of quantity. Now, quality is important because you can't have Facebook account, you have a bunch of fans, you're saying things that aren't related to your brand. Or your website doesn't talk about implant dentistry, but you do it. But you have videos that talk about that. When Google does a search, they're going to go across multiple places. They're going across blogs now. They're going across all kinds of different properties, not just properties that they own. And so now they're trying to grab information. And Web 3.0 has been called semantic web. And what that means is machines thinking like people. And trying to make it easier to bring information into kind of a related topic link. So if I'm looking at roller coasters, and what I really want to find out is the fastest roller coaster in the world, I get at roller coasters, and then I can go fastest because Google knows that I'm looking for that. Really interesting how they're doing that. So they're looking for quality in terms of, is this consistent across multiple channels? Do they talk about implant dentistry in your in your feeds in Twitter or Facebook, as well as your videos that you're taking on YouTube. If you're just introducing, hey, I do implant dentistry, that's really critical. So quantity and quality.
And quality also goes into, let's say, on videos, making sure that those keywords are on there, and making sure that there are those keywords that maybe Google is out there looking for and the consumer's out there looking for.
Absolutely. The keywords are, people get so, you just have to put descriptive words that the video is about. Sometimes you'll see that people will put in, or practices will put in keywords, 15, or they'll put in too many, and it'll confuse it. So Google understands what the video is about, and they understand, it's got to be relevant to that. And when I talk about quality, I'm really meaning relevance in terms of what it's related to and how that searches.
And whenever we talk about relevance, you mentioned in one of the earlier segments the wheel that is out there now. And just kind of refresh a little bit about how important that is.
Yeah, the Wonder Wheel. So it's a great name.
It is great.
It's so Google is now really what they're doing is they're taking information and they're linking off of that where everyone tends to go. What's the second search after the first search? So, for instance, if I put in cosmetic dentistry and I click Wonder Wheel, it will have about 8 sections off of cosmetic dentistry that I can go to. And I may not have been thinking, I use this example, I'll stay on the course of this example, is it talks about patient financing is one of the categories. And so you can click on patient financing, and then there are additional 8, within the center being the wheel, around the wheel of patient financing. And you'll see results to the right side. So you don't have to go do multiple searches. Think about it. In the past, if you're on Google, you had to do cosmetic dentistry, and you pull up information. Then you'd have to change the search entirely and do cosmetic dentistry financing, patient financing, if you were looking for that. And then after that, you'd want to look at cosmetic dentistry, top 10 best in Indianapolis, Indiana, whatever it might be. So you had to do multiple searches to dig for information. The Wonder Wheel makes it very simple that with one click, you're expanding and you see the results instantly to the right side. So I can learn about patient financing. I can learn about different styles of veneers, for instance, in cosmetic dentistry in an instant, because Google's saying, this is what you're probably going to look for next, and they're pretty good at guessing.
They are. It turns out.
Yeah, that's right.
What's the one piece of advice you'd leave with dentists if they really want to be that, hey, I'm over here, they want to be found in searches? What's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
I would say that be active, be interactive with your patients, because if you can leverage your patients, you're leveraging your brand across the net. And I mean, that's the key to it. And because the thing is that you tell one person, you can do just so much out there yourself, right? You can put just so many videos out there. You can do just so much, essentially. If you're leveraging your patients, they're your advocates on the net, and they're all connected. And they're connected to their friends, and that's where you want to go. You want your brand to permeate through the net, and let your advocates take it for you, because they can do that very easily, and it's instantly done. And the key is that that's how you're going to grow your practice and continue to build your brand.
Sounds good.